Hi, everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? Is everybody awake? Good. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for your patience while we were getting organized. Michael Caselli was going to be here, and I don't know if I can do quite as good a job as he can, but I'll do my best. I'm Alana Levine, and I'm from a business called Income Access. Some of you may have heard of us. And we basically organized this panel today because we thought it was important. There are a lot of people out there that understand the importance of affiliates in this industry. I don't know if you know, but if you look at the retail business and affiliates in retail, affiliates are quite a small percentage, but in gaming, you actually represent about 30% of these businesses' growth. So you're a really significant portion of all of these brands out here and how they grow their businesses, so they rely on you quite a bit. And for those of you that are looking to get into this space, I think this is a really good opportunity for you to understand what are the key things that you need to consider and how do you actually make this business something that's successful so that it's not just, something that you're working on, but it's something that you're growing and building, and it can be something that actually, sustains and expands. So I think for us, what we wanted to do is go a little bit in the beginning about what are the key things you need to consider when starting a business, and then looking at maybe a little bit later down the road in the next 20 minutes or so, we'll talk about how you can actually grow and what strategies and things you need to consider in order to make it successful. So with that, I would like to introduce our panel of experts here. We have a variety of people who will be representing and have had years of experience in the affiliate space in iGaming. I will ask you guys some questions in the interim as well, and I want you to engage. I know that some of you will be sending questions through, so I'll keep kind of looking at the screen and be able to ask the panelists the questions that you're putting forth. But thank you. We welcome your engagement and hope that it is a interesting session for you. So I'll just pass on the microphone if you guys want to.
So hi, I'm Leanne Johnstone. I'm a VP of Business Development and Marketing at the same company that Alana works at, Income Access. But I've been in the affiliate space for nigh on almost 18 years. So I've worked at a number of different businesses, both operator side, agency side, and also now in terms of a network. I also run an affiliate event, which some of these guys have attended, called Affiliate Fest, which actually specializes in helping affiliates to grow their businesses and take it to the next level. So, hi, that's me.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jan Dellmann. I'm the CEO and founder of the Forscher Group. We are a German affiliate network with several projects. We started just 2 years ago and made a successful start, and I hope I can give you some impressions of how you get your business running, and I hope you have a good time.
Hi, I'm Andrew Edwards. I'm the Managing Director of Mad About Media. Predominantly a Power 50 affiliate with the Bingo site, but we now have 4 white label sites. I specialise in SEO, and we have an affiliate network as well with Mad About Affiliates.
Hi, my name is Nick Garner, and originally I was SEO manager for Betfair, then became head of search for Unibet, set up my own digital marketing agency called 90 Digital. Then 2015, I set up Oshi Casino, which is a white label casino doing cryptocurrency. And along the way, I picked up a large shareholding of a site called Club Call, which is a sports news website that gets about 1 million visitors a month. And we do sports betting affiliate. So I've kind of covered a lot of angles here on this game. And also I'm a business startup because of the casino.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to turn the spotlight on you guys. I just want to ask a few questions to understand who's out there in the audience. How many of you are completely new to the affiliate space? Cool, awesome, welcome. How many of you are affiliates but have never been affiliates in the iGaming industry before? Fantastic, okay. And how many of you are some affiliate veterans out there that have maybe 2 to 5 years experience, maybe more, and you're wanting to know, okay, I have this business now, what the hell do I do with it? Woo! Okay, great, perfect. Okay, so with that, understanding who you guys are, I'm going to turn to the panelists here and ask just if you were starting an affiliate business from scratch, what were some of the key things that you considered in the beginning or that you'd recommend that people consider in the beginning when getting into the space? And maybe I'll start with Andy.
Okay, for me, the bingo industry 10 years ago was quite easy. I'd look in how competitive the market is that you're going into. Obviously, so that's not just in gaming, it can be in anything. Look at your competitors, see who's doing it good, see who's doing it bad. See if it's something you can do as a startup yourself or whether you need financial backing. And obviously come to events like this and like Affiliate Fest and just get yourselves out there. Don't be shy. Everyone's here for the same reasons. And see if you can get some better deals, like CPA deals maybe, flat fee tenancy deals, something that will give you a bit of money to reinvest into your company in the first 6 to 12 months.
Fantastic. Anyone else want to add?
Yeah, I just think getting the right people on board and having a structure where you can get lots of freelancers on board. So one of the things that I did, simple thing that made a huge difference, was to have a person who specializes on recruiting people from Upwork. If you've never heard of Upwork, check it out. It's very good. And there's just a world of really good freelancers that charge very little money that can do awesomeness for you, whether it's like build out a really good WordPress website or do the design work or whatever. So I just think keeping things as small and keeping fixed costs as low as you can, and then gradually working your relationships with the operators to nail good deals with them, so at least when you do start bringing money through, you get a fair chunk of it. I think those are real foundation things, actually. And one of the big thing I think is if you're happy working with other people, technology to me is a huge part of this. So if you know someone who's a good technologist that you can work with, that's a huge deal, because the website that you have and the SEO friendliness and all of those other bits and pieces ultimately are technology. So if you're not so strong on tech, in my view, find someone who is.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I'd recommend is actually finding your niche. You know how they tell writers that you need to write about what you know? It's the same thing for affiliate marketing. If you're really passionate about casino, no sense going to go and open up a Forex or binary site, because A, you'll lose interest, B, it will be really hard for you because it's not your passion, and you just won't get any self-gratification out of it. So really looking at, where are your competitors, again, following on from what Andy said, and then finding a niche that actually helps you. I mean, one of the things that I was speaking about this morning to a couple of casino affiliates was the fact that the guy had, I think, 30 sites. They were all focused on slots. And I said to him, but why aren't you looking at maybe differentiating into table games, for example? Also a slots player, same revenue model, but just looking at it from a different content angle.
I think Leanne is absolutely right. When I started, I asked me the question, what vertical I really love, because as an affiliate, your business becoming a part of your life. So it's really important that you love your business. So I consult a lot of new affiliates, and they started as a slot affiliate, but they have no clue about slot gaming, and it's not enough to just say, okay, I'm hiring guys for texting. In the end, you need to verify if the taxes are right, and if you have no clue about slot gaming, then maybe it's not the right vertical for you. So if you love football, just start a blog about football. You can't do something you don't like. In the end, you really need to accept that affiliating is getting part of your life. As a founder or CEO, it's definitely getting part of your life, and you have to live with it. And if you don't like it, it's not the right thing.
One other thing I want to say is, so when I started the casino, I was looking, as a white label, I was looking at either Forex or Forex-binary options or crypto casino. And the reason I was interested in those areas is because they weren't mainstream, therefore I could have a niche. But the reason I ended up with crypto is because I made a bet that it was growing, and thank goodness it turned out okay, because crypto is growing rapidly now. So there's another thing about just A, what you love, B, what your niche is, and C, is it growing? So like being a poker affiliate, is that really the best way you could spend your time? It is if you know a ton about poker. But if you've got choices, then what's growing, and what, you make a big bet basically.
So to follow up on that, so you've just started this business, you've chosen what niche you want to focus on, you've launched this site, you're producing content. what are the metrics you need to consider in the beginning to actually measure your growth? And looking at, is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? What are the things that I need to be considering? Because that's what's going to obviously guide you, and then having to shift your focus to the areas that are going to help you expand your business.
So one of the things that I'd say is data is king, but content is queen. So, and I have actually mentioned that before in some of the articles that I've written. If you're not looking at your data every single day, your traffic sources and where they're actually converting, you're missing a trick. Because by understanding your own traffic, you can then go out onto the floor at an event like this and actually understand who you need to be speaking to. Many times when I look at affiliates or when I work with affiliate sites, they've got the wrong brands in the wrong places and they're actually missing out on revenue. So if you can really understand your own traffic sources and understand what your customer database is all about and what they're interested in, and then feed them that information in the easiest possible way, you're going to be monetizing your traffic, twofold, threefold. So understanding the operators and where they focus their efforts in marketing and matching that back to your own site is really, really something that you need to be looking at every single day, in my opinion.
So what types of things, when you're looking at operators or brands to partner with, are the things that you need to consider, or what kinds of questions can you be asking them?
So having a look at where they're spending their marketing spend in terms of geographic locations, also having a look at their conversion rates, which you would see in your own data and in their platform when you log into your affiliate account, and then matching that to wherever you see the high traffic points are on your own website. So that's why I keep harping on about data. Data really does drive your business and the monetization techniques forward.
Great. For those of you who've already launched an affiliate site and are partnered with some brands, how many of you have actually tried the product that you're promoting? Everybody's hand should be up in the air.
Everybody.
And the reason for that is because you need to understand exactly what you're promoting and what type of product you're working with. And with that, then you can understand, okay, this is what people are enjoying. This is how it's converting. You can then ask questions. I know a lot of the guys that are out on the floor, product-wise, will go to their best affiliates and they'll say, we're launching this new product. We really want you to look at it because we know that you're going to be able to tell us what you think is going to resonate with your audience, and what you think, what their feedback will be. What is your feedback regarding the customer journey? Yeah.
And also by doing that, you actually end up building a better relationship with the operators that you partner with because they come to you first to actually trial new things, which gives you an edge over your competitors.
Okay,
But guys, we're talking about the start of an affiliate project, and I would advise not to get so much into statistics and tracking because it's can get some kind of an addiction to track your stats all the time and 3 times a day. Don't do it. I read in a book that if you just cut it off and write an article for your blog, you save a lot of time. And if it then comes to the middle phase, where it's about getting money, then you can, in my opinion, start looking for statistics and see how the conversion rates are. But the first 6 months, it's all about working, and it's not about seeing, oh, I got one more visitor, or I got one more FTD or stuff like this. It's maybe interesting for you to get motivated, but don't fall into this statistic addiction. Just work on your product, and the money will come from itself. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, when I first started out, you can get quite addicted to looking at KPIs. I've seen the KPIs, the stats, your Google Analytics. I use SEMrush daily to see where we track. You can automate that now. You don't need to look every single day. And then when you first start out, you might start jumping up and down when you've sent an FTD to somebody. But you're procrastinating. That time could be spent better else on your website, monetizing it. And when you first start out, like Leanne touched on then, you've got to provide a service to someone. So what makes you stand out from the other 4,000 or 5,000 other affiliates that doing the same thing? So you've got to try and build a brand first and then make yourself an expert in that brand, in that niche, and then take that on to other things. The likes of the analytics stuff, that will come at a later date once you build a brand and you start seeing traffic come to your website.
So when I was an employee, a very wise person said to me, if you're going to start up a business, what you begin with is probably not what you're going to end up with. And if you think it's going to take 6 months, it's going to take a year. And if you do it, plan on not making a penny for at least 9 months. And having gone through that cycle of setting up 2 businesses that thankfully have done pretty okay, it's absolutely true. So then you're into the whole thing about not getting obsessed with the stats, because ultimately there are two things. Firstly, on day one, you want to be an affiliate, but exactly what's going to work, you won't know until down the road, because you're going to try lots of stuff. So whenever you hear about startups, they always talk about the runway, and you got a certain number of rolls of the dice. So in other words, you can pivot so many times, and the more aggressive the pivot, the more it's going to cost you. So therefore, it's, in my view, going back to that thing about Upwork and so on, the key is, for me anyway, has always been keep fixed costs as low as you can, keep all costs as low as you can, always have enough money in the bank so that if all goes wrong, you can try something else, and give yourself I gave myself at least enough money to do 3 rolls of the dice. And on Oshi, on the agency, the 90 Digital agency, I had to essentially pivot once, and on Oshi, I had to pivot twice, but not going, it's a casino and I'm going to do something else. It was more to do with the technology and all the stuff in the back end, and I'm here. So that's my best advice, and it isn't my idea. It was just very wise, very successful entrepreneur that I met once.
Great. Andy, you mentioned it's important to really build a brand. If you have a website that you've launched, what exactly do you need to be doing to build a brand?
For us, when we started out, so I own Mad About Media. So started out, I'm mad about this, I'm mad about that. It's kind of a northwestern thing. But then we branched out from bingo into casino. We've got poker. And then when we got to a certain stage as an affiliate, we took the money and I done what Nick done. So I now own 4 white label operator websites as well. So we own one called playcasinogames.com. But we think outside the box when we done brand awareness. So we've recently sponsored a rugby league team, Witness Vikings. We do a lot of charity work. So kind of balancing the karma in a way from, we make money off people gambling. So we're trying to balance in the karma and look and say, look, take the taboo off the gambling and say, look, everybody does it. It's whether you do it behind closed doors or whether you put it on Facebook. But we're doing some good with the money. We're reinvesting. We're doing this. We're doing that. And that's helped build a brand and build a company as a whole as well.
I think following on from that, it's all about engaging with your audience in whichever way or format works for you. So it could be, starting a conversation in social and actually not hard selling, but actually softly building an interest group or a focus, and then slowly moving them over and, letting your audience recognize that this is who you stand for, this is your tone of voice, and this is what you're all about. So for me, I think that's really important.
So can I...
One really good advice I can give you is to read a book about marketing. As an affiliate, you have to know everything, but it's really hard for one person to know everything. So I studied marketing, so this was really easy for me when it comes to branding. But I talked to a lot of affiliates, and they are no marketeers. They are normal, maybe gamblers or online marketeers or whatever. But just grab a good marketing book and just read about how to build a brand, because doing charity and stuff like this is a good method to push your brand, but to start your brand and to get an idea about what could be nice for my target group and what could be sustainable for the future. Just read a book and just get into marketing, because marketing is like politics. Everyone knows about it, but in the end, nobody knows about it. So read about it and get a clue about it, and then you get a better insight of it, yeah?
So I'm going to be slightly contrarian on this. Right, most affiliate sites don't need to be brands, and they never will be, because all they are is a list of stuff that people click on. So that's the majority of affiliates, and therefore it's a traffic game. So it's ranking on Google. What's interesting about Google, by the way, is that Google is much more of a meritocracy than it ever has been, because it's much more engagement driven, because they upweight click-through rates and all that stuff much more, and list affiliate sites rank because people want them. On the other side of the coin, you've got the likes of Ask Gamblers, for example, and that is a monster brand. And it has a huge, or Casino Meister is another brand in my ecosystem that I care a lot about. Or Latest Casino Bonus is another one. And they all have one thing in common, which is a lot of user feedback aggregated on the site so that you can trust a decision. But that's just one flavor. And as I say, broadly, there are two flavors. So for the majority of you, why would you care about brand when it's just ranking a website? But there'll be a few of you that care about charity and pretty logos and stuff like that.
Okay. We have some questions that have come through the audience. Thank you for sending them through. So Click wrote, for data and transparency and data sharing, what is the best balance? So can I just ask, who asked that question? Can you clarify for me just what you mean by that? Is that between the operator and the affiliate, or is it within the business? Okay, so it's between affiliate and operator, correct? Between the affiliate and operator, what's the best balance in data sharing?
Have you tried to get any data off operators? That's the biggest thing. Where, as an affiliate, you go to them and you say, I've got this website, I have this amount of clicks, I can send you this much of traffic, work with me to help you make my rev share CPA tenancy deal. And then you say, well, what can you do for me? And you just turn it and flip it back on you. How many clicks can you send me? How many FTDs can you send me a month? That's all they care about. And you talk to them and you say, well, I can send you the traffic. It's up to you to convert the traffic. I'm just a method of cheap outsource in a way. There are some affiliates or there are some operators where once you build on them relationships, once you can prove that you can send them players that do convert, that stay for the lifetime and are decent players, then they will work with you. But if you're a brand new affiliate starting out and you don't have that to give them, then you'll find it very hard to get any data, if none, off an operator.
Yeah, Andy is totally right. I don't think it's about sharing data, because in the end, every traffic is completely different. Is it organic traffic or social traffic? What country is it and stuff like this? So in the end, I only trust my own data. So I see in the affiliate backend, what is the sign up to FTD conversion rate? What is the player retention? This is what I trust on. And from my experience, the most operators aren't so open-minded when it comes to sharing stuff. But this leads us to the discussion later on about a relationship with other operators and affiliate managers. But just trust your own data, and you will collect it every day. And in the end of every month, you can say, okay, the conversion rate on operator 1 and 2 is better than on 3 and 4. So maybe I could do more with these operators. But they can send you everything. But just trust your own data.
Can I also say that you need to trust your own instinct as well? Because when you're talking to various operators, you will get a gut feel as to whether I can work with this person or whether I can't. And, some operators will show you a lot of data. Some operators will only show you the data that you need to see in order to, calculate your commissions. But ultimately, it's about building a relationship with the people that you trust, because affiliate marketing is all about trust. The terms and conditions vary on various programs, and it's your business, so you need to make the decisions about who you want to work with and who you get a good feel about. And ultimately, those are the programs that are probably the most successful, because they understand that they need to be in partnership with their affiliate partners. So you've got the choice to pick and choose who you want to work with. You don't have to work with everybody. You could pick 20 people that you have a good relationship with, and through time, even if you're not instantly sending traffic, if you're slightly newer, you will get a feel and build a trust and have a partnership that eventually leads to more open sharing.
On that note, perfect timing. We had another question come through that says, do you recommend working with a handful of operators or as many as possible?
I think, okay, so part A, different operators are going to have different affiliate systems, and they're going to be able to give you different amounts of information because of the system. So if you're going to wrench an affiliate manager's arm and say, give me all the data, and they can't, then they're never going to do it. So therefore, you've got to shop around, haven't you? Because if you don't, you're not going to find the right people for you. But when you do, then you stick with a few, I think, and you get to know them really well. And this is where it's all about marginal gains. So that if you have a good relationship with an operator, then obviously they're going to do something special for you. Like they're going to do you custom assets, or they'll do you special promotions or whatever. And then that in turn makes everyone more money. So it's relationships.
I mean, touching on what Nick said there, so For those of you who've known me, I have Mad About Bingo comparison site. We have about 300 or 400 different bingo websites on there. I could probably count on probably about 10 or 20 that I still make money from long term from 10 years ago. And they're the ones that you build on the percentages. They're the ones who'll make you custom landing pages. They're the ones who'll give you mailers. They're the ones who'll give you a high flat rev share. All the others, yeah, you still need that money. You've got traffic. If you're not going to get them, people don't stay loyal to one brand anymore. So they'll probably play on about 4 or 5 different websites. And they don't even know they're playing on the same bloody website, on the same software. They're just going for that free bonus. So for the smaller brands that you've not really heard of, the white labels, I would look at going for a CPA while you're just starting out. Because that way, if you do send them a click and it converts to an FTD on a minimum deposit, you're going to get £50, £60 CPA. Whereas if it was on a rev share deal, you might have to wait 3 to 4 months for that to kick in. So on the bigger brands, you like your Galas, your Meccas and stuff like that, then go for a high flat fee rev share. On the smaller brands that you've never heard of, the ones that kind of hand you when you go in the toilet, things like that, just get a CPA and that'll give you the money to reinvest into your businesses when you're first starting out.
Great.
I think it's the best to, when it comes to affiliate relationships, it's the same like with friendships. You want to have 5 good friends or 50 usual friends. So in the end, you don't have time to talk to 50 brands or build a relationship to them. And when it comes to, if you build more affiliate projects, I think it's the best to just have 5 good partners. So 90% of our revenue is coming from 5 partners and the rest is from all the small ones. But in the end, you can't trust people you don't know. Yeah, and you learn your best partners and then you can trust on them. And this is really important when it comes to affiliate marketing because like Leanne said, it's all about trust and just start with 5 good partners, and if it's 6 or 7, it's fine, or 10, or 20, but quality before quantity, I would say.
But I think there's one other part to this, which is people expect to see lots of different offers on a website usually, and therefore, because you control that website, you can decide which goes at the top, because usually first is the one that gets the clicks and so on. So typically the way it's going to work out, obviously, is that you're going to pimp around. You're going to talk to an awful lot of people for a while. You'll find the ones you really like, and then you'll narrow it down, and they always get premium spots, and the rest is just the filler on the website. That's all.
Just for sake of time, I'm going to shift gears now a little bit. For those of you out there that have already launched an affiliate site or multiple sites, is it just you that's working on the site, or are you a team? Do you have more than 2 people in your business? Can you raise your hand? So this is more than 2? Raise your hand. Great. Okay. For those of you, I guess I'll answer maybe Andy first. When you were looking first starting out and then looking at then growing the business and maybe hiring more people and realizing you need resources, what were kind of the key points of inflection of the business when you said, okay, I'm going to need to hire more people?
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to be my own boss. So I was never one for authority. But you've got to put the hours in. I work 70, 80 hours a week still. And I have 5 full-time staff, probably about 12 freelance people work for me. And then we have the people who do the CRM for the operator websites that we own. So when you find, like it touches on what Leanne says, trust your gut, find someone. It's personality in this industry. Everything else you can teach them along the way, or you can learn from a book. Or if you get someone who's already worked for a different affiliate, they could be picking up bad habits that they'd bring to your business. So for me, I took on a mate who got made redundant. I took on one of my best friends who I've never fallen out with, never argued with. I knew I could trust him. And then I taught him what I know. And now he runs as an office manager and runs the affiliate side of the business for me, while I specialize in the SEO and the website and everything else. So it's just finding a good mix. You probably find someone you know. I wouldn't take family on. Brother's there, obviously, with his brother-in-law, because if it doesn't work out, then there's a bit of an awkwardness there. But look at taking interns on. I mean, I took interns and apprentices on. They are hit and miss. It's cheap labour. You pay peanuts, you get monkeys, so to speak. But when you're first starting out, it is a good avenue to go down. Train someone up, get a friend, and then start building on from there and just start but don't run too quick. Don't run before you can jump, because you'll just have to come back and start again.
I mean, I've worked at really small companies that have grown really, really fast, and I've worked at I currently work for a huge billion-dollar PLC company. And one of the things that I do when I interview people to work with me is I look at their natural aptitude for understanding the subject matter, because you can teach somebody anything, but if they don't have a natural aptitude or personality to work in this space, which is all about relationships, they're never going to make it. They're either analytical, and that's great because I can use that in the team as well. But I really, for affiliate marketing and, to go out into a big room like this and feel comfortable talking to strangers, they need to have a natural aptitude to actually work in this space. So that's what I look at.
And just my tuppence worth is test people. So interviews don't tell you anything. So we have a simple little process, which is little project. Did that work? Great. Here's a bigger project. Did that work? Great. Here's a bigger one. And then that line between do they, don't they, just fades away, and then we know. So for every good person, I guess we probably go through 2 or 3 misses, because it's always the way. And these are people who might do a bit of work first, but then they kind of drift off, and the ones that stick. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, want to follow up on Andy. He's totally right. It's all about trust and relationship again. So when I started to build my team, it's the best to hire people you know from the start. You maybe friends from friends or whatever. In the end, you need to know people and need the skill to see potential in people. But it's in this industry where it's about big money and about legal stuff, legal issues. It's really better to get a loyal team, even if it's a smaller team, loyal and a trustworthy team, than, I don't know, 20 freelancers and you never saw them and you don't know them. So for me, in the end, again, when it comes to affiliate managers and when it comes to employees, it's all about trust and loyalty.
Can I just say there's a fundamental principle that I work to, which is when I look at people, they're either people you can feed that need to be fed, or they feed themselves. So in other words, if they need to be fed, they're what I call factory workers. They have to be in an office. They have to be in your space, on your money. You're renting their time. They do stuff for you. But people who are naturally good at feeding themselves can handle project work. They don't need to be managed intensively. And therefore, you just don't have that overhead. And they don't even have to be in your office. So one thing I've really, with the agency, we hit a peak headcount of 50, and it was just a mission. And now with the casino, we make double the money and we have 8 people. So I'm happier and my life is less full of screaming babies, basically. So the other big thing I would say is, if you don't need them, don't have them. Just keep your head count as low as you can, because people are just natural friction points, and also they're very expensive. And if you're hiring them and you end up with PAYE and you have to get them on as full time, man, it's just a massive overhead and encumbrance, and then you lose your agility. So it's okay when you do that down the road when you've got everything settled down, but if you're growing, no.
Sorry, I'll just touch on that from the UK perspective on the payee. I have 6 full-time staff, including myself. So I've had to go down the small business route and pension scheme route as well. So that just come into effect in April. So there's all these hidden costs, hidden taxes, stuff that you don't take into account. If you hire a female, you've got 9 months maternity cover. You've got all these type of things that you don't factor in when you initially take someone on. You think, oh shit, I've got all this work to do. There's not enough hours in a day. I'm going to take this person on. They can do this. They can do that. And then you don't realize that they're an additional cost that you didn't factor in the initial startup. So, like touching on Nick said, if you can do it yourself, do it. If it gets too much for you, then obviously make sure you get the right person.
So just one other thing. I think it's really important to have a few core people that totally know what they're doing, and then you can have a larger group of peripheral people. One thing I promised myself at the beginning of all my business stuff was that, unlike when I was an employee looking for people, that person on the other side of the desk was holding me to ransom, which is why I made some very bad decisions on hires when I was an employee. So I promised I would never have that happen to me again. So I hired a recruiter, and she's a researcher, and she just goes and finds people. So I never have that problem. And that person on the other side of the table I don't have to have them. I can have somebody else, which is a huge deal, especially if you're an affiliate and you need project work done. So just my thing is I never want to be held to ransom by anybody like that ever again.
Yeah.
And I haven't been.
Thank you. We have one more question. It seems to be a very popular question that everyone wants to know about. We're shifting gears here and just getting a bit granular, but which countries of the countries in Europe are the easiest and hardest from an optimization perspective in Europe?
I've done
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, no, I've done a ton of work on this. So it's really simple, actually. All things are equal. So what that means is that when you look at, there's a formula which I use, which is internet penetration, gross domestic product, and gambling, interest in gambling. And you then pick a country like UK if that's a 1. So Germany would be 0.8, for example. Poland would be 0.4. It's really commensurate with the amount of money that's there. So the more money you make, the more competition there is. So it's really simple.
Yeah, I kind of look from a different angle. So look how competitive a market is. Look how competitive a country is. Is it going to be easy for you to rank a website in Germany, say, or the Swedish market, or a lot of us are probably predominantly UK, but then everyone's competing for that same traffic. So what can you bring to the table that's different from somebody else? So it comes into that diversify or die mentality where you could have one website to start off with, but then all of a sudden you've got 4 or 5 different websites in different countries and you're spinning too many plates and you're not really getting anywhere.
So from my perspective, coming from a payments background, I would also have a look at the ease that customers in those regions can actually deposit to operators, because if they can't get the money in, you're not going to make any commission out of it. So really do your research in terms of how the financial infrastructure works before you actually jump in, and always make sure that you are localized with your languages, because if you even try and launch a website, and I'm speaking from experience where I speak English but I try to do something in Australia, it is just very, very different. So make sure that you have your localization 100%.
So there's a really simple thing. For example, Poland. It's relatively easy to get a lot of customers from Poland, but the lifetime value is so low that it's not worth a lot versus, say, Sweden, which is crazy. So if you know about SEO stuff, you know getting a link in Sweden is just stupid money. So the point is all things are equal. And therefore, it's not so much which country, it's where your competitive advantage is. So do you have someone who's a really good Polish writer? Therefore, you have a competitive advantage because you're going to do more engaging content, which will probably rank better. Therefore, you get more customers, but at a lower cost. And that's okay because your lifetime value is low, so you're okay. All things are equal.
I think I would say let's keep it simple. Just start in the market where you're native. So I'm a German and I just started in the German market, not just because of the language, but because of I know the German market since I'm a German gambler. And if you have the opportunity and there is a market in your country, just go the easy way and start there. It's of course always an opportunity to go to Scandinavia or to Great Britain, but start at home and then see what happens. It's much more easier to get texters and to verify texters in your own language than in other languages. Keep it simple, yeah?
But, one of the things just to share with you on this, so one of the projects, an affiliate project we're looking at, is to do some stuff in South America because it's Portuguese and Spanish out there. So, that could be interesting. And also they quite like cryptocurrencies out there, which is a weird thing for us. But the point is, there is a big world out there, and it's the internet.
So I can say the same about Africa. So I am actually originally South African, and at this show particularly, I've spoken to a lot of affiliates that are looking to get into the African space purely because of the infrastructure and because everything is on mobile. So money movement is easy. Regulations, not so much, but that could be a future project that you're looking at. English is widely spoken in Africa as well, so it's something that you can always keep your eye on and actually look to increase your revenue streams.
Great. Okay, so I think that just about wraps it up. I want to thank everyone here for joining us. If anyone else has any other questions, I know we didn't get to some of them, so feel free to come up and talk to us.